Wrigley Field. They've been playing baseball here, at least the Cubs have, since 1916. They built this place in 1914. It's the second oldest ballpark in the major leagues, second only to Fenway Park, which was built in 1912. And it has always been a wonderful spot for baseball. And now for those of us in this generation, we get a chance to see the New York Yankees play the Cubs in Chicago. And there goes Sosa. And here come the Cubs. A glorious day for baseball here in Chicago. Sosa's in right field, appealing his suspension. The appeal will probably be heard this upcoming week while the Cubs are in Baltimore. And in the middle of the diamond, but not necessarily the focus of this game, is a very talented 25-year-old right-hander, 6'5", 225 Kerry Wood, who comes into this game with a record of 4-4. He is going for 50 wins in his career. It's his 7th try for 50 wins. He leads the major leagues in strikeouts, and here's the lineup he'll be facing today for the New York Yankees. A little different look, obviously, playing in a National League ballpark. Soriano leads off at second. Derek Jeter batting second and short. Jason Giambi homered yesterday. He's batting third. Jorge Posada cleans up. Robin Ventura is at third base. Then Raul Mondesi, Hideki Matsui has been moved down in the Yankee lineup. Juan Rivera is in left field, not hitting much, and Roger Clemens, who his career, at least during the regular season, 4 out of 19 at the plate. There's one of his hits, an extra base hit. That's the group facing Kerry Wood.
In Kerry Wood's 5th major league start, he struck out 20. Roger Clemens is the only other pitcher in major league history to strike out 20 in a game. Clemens did it twice. The breaking ball will be the key for Kerry Wood. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, saying that Kerry is on the cusp of stardom, but he must forget about the hitter and trust his stuff.
Randy Johnson sitting on his couch back in Phoenix saying, hey, wait a minute, I struck out 20 in 9 innings, but it wasn't a 9-inning game and went extra innings. So in a 9-inning game, a matchup of the only 2 pitchers in Major League Baseball history to strike out 20. And Alfonso Soriano digs his way in to start the day for New York. Only 25 years old, 3rd full season in the big leagues, and he is putting together a tremendous season.
And he'll not wait around. Notorious first ball swinger.
That had a wrinkle on the end of it. Soriano thinking that Wood would try to blow one by him to start the day, and he got a surprise. A little 12-26 surprise. Swinging at the first pitch, pop foul, backing out of play, and the count's 0-2.
It's always a great combination to throw the curveball on the first pitch and then tie him up with the fastball.
Soriano is #1 in the major leagues in hits. He scored 51 runs. That's good for 2nd in the American League. He's tied for 1st in home runs and is #1 in stolen bases in the American League. Over his head. 1-2.
It's not unusual. Kerry Wood throwing tight to batters, but that looked like a breaking ball. You can see Damian Miller sitting outside. Kerry Wood has hit 10 batters this year.
Only 82 miles an hour on our radar gun. On 1-2, strikeout #1.
On the scouting report, we said the pitching coach Larry Rothschild said the breaking ball is the key. 3 of the first 4 pitches to Soriano, breaking ball. He finally got it.
I thought it was interesting as Jeter stands in, when you mentioned that Kerry Wood, according to Rothschild, gets too wrapped up in who's standing at the plate facing him. As a phenom, former Rookie of the Year, that season that he struck out 20, it was May 6th of '98 against Houston. It's Derek Jeter, who missed 36 games this season with a dislocated left shoulder. That's easy for Gonzalez. 2 up, 2 down.
Joe, I think a lot of major league hitters intimidate young pitchers. I mean, Kerry Wood will be 26 years old in 9 days. And even though he's had limited success in the major leagues, he's still intimidated. I mean, these are the New York Yankees. Think about it. This heralded franchise that's won 26 world championships. And 4 in the last 7 years.
You could make the case that Kerry Wood grew up idolizing and following Derek Jeter on TV.
Sure. Roger Clemens, certainly.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. He'll be on the mound. When will it be? Can Giambi extend the inning for the Yankees, or will it be 1, 2, 3 right out of the gate for Kerry Wood? No wins since April 29. Blistering fastball, 97 miles per hour for Wood. 11 strikeouts in his last start, a 9-3 loss here to Houston on Sunday. Don't let the 4-4 record fool you, though. He has had virtually no run support. Giambi just flailing at it. It's 1-2. Good start for the kid.
Going a full 12 rounds is all about stamina. That's why I like high endurance from Old Spice. No deodorant protects better, and it lasts longer because it evaporates more slowly. Want proof? If you're not convinced, Old Spice will buy you a stick of your old stuff. Let me put it this way. High endurance lasts longer than I do. But I'm working on that.
And start your day with new body wash and body spray from Old Spice. Spice things up.
Ted? Hey, man, remember how Ted was talking about his new acting job, but he was a little, hazy on the details?
Right up here, baby.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Pickle Boy.
I'm so glad I got to see this.
Happy to help.
Introducing Picture Mail That Talks from Sprint. Share it when it happens.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
Introducing the GMC Envoy XL.
You've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine.
With a midsize SUV engineered to comfortably seat 7 full-size adults.
Underway. You ain't seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
Fox Saturday Baseball is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade, and by Sprint, introducing PCS Vision. Clearly a whole new way to look at wireless. Roger Clemens with yet another bid for career victory number 300. He lost at home to Boston. He lost in Detroit last weekend, and it pushes his latest chance here to Wrigley on a Saturday afternoon. And here's the lineup for the Chicago Cubs, who start the day a game out behind Houston. Grudzielanek will lead it off, and Alex Gonzalez bats second. Corey Patterson, good-looking young players in center. Sammy Sosa, we'll talk a lot about Sammy today. He cleans up. Moises Alou in left. Hee-Seop Choi, the rookie first baseman. Lenny Harris, a veteran at third. Damian Miller catching, and Kerry Wood, not bad, swinging the bat, pitching and batting ninth.
Roger Clemens will be 41 in about 3 months, and few pitchers in baseball history have maintained power over 2 decades like Clemens has.
First guy that comes to mind is his idol Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, right. He's one.
First pitch to Grudzielanek, slides away for ball 1. Mark Grudzielanek is the leadoff hitter, really by default, for the Chicago Cubs. As the 6-time Cy Young Award winner brings it home. 2-0. Is there a danger? Is there a concern with the way Clemens can get pumped up for a start? And we saw it certainly in the World Series in 2000 against the Mets, where the early innings he gets too excited, and that's the time for the Cubs to jump on it.
Yeah, that was in game 2 of the 2000 series when Mike Piazza broke the bat. Roger Clemens threw a bat near Piazza. And I don't think I've ever seen a pitcher as pumped up as Clemens was that night.
On 2-1. Misses the inside corner. Dan Iassogna is the home plate umpire for what Clemens hopes will be a historic day.
Oh, pitchers who are pumped up don't get hit hard. They walk batters.
Into center field, a leadoff base hit for Grudzielanek. Number 2 in the American League this season is the 40-year-old Roger Clemens with 82 strikeouts. He has won 6 games, and all 6 victories have been on the road.
0-3 at home. And as we said, he's maintained that power. Hard splitter, arguably the hardest splitter ever. Around 88, 89. He must put that 300 milestone behind him and the Yankees. And the Yankees, they don't want a no decision out of Clemens today. They want a win, period.
A check on the runner, Grudzielanek at first. The failure of Bobby Hill during the spring has forced Grudzielanek not only to the second base position, but I guess you could argue into the leadoff spot. He has only 1 stolen base. This is not a team, and it usually isn't here at Wrigley for these Cubs, that runs very often. Another check. Jorge Posada, by Joe Torre's own evaluation, has had a much better season this year behind the plate catching this Yankee pitching staff than in years past.
And many pass balls over the years, 12 last year, to be among the leading catchers in the American League. Mariano Rivera, usually the culprit with Posada catching. But he has had some problems behind the plate. Not so this year.
Don't know if these 3 consecutive throwovers were called from the bench or if it's something that Clemens did on his own, but when he got the ball back from Giambi a moment ago, he snapped at it. Then kicked at the pitching rubber, and he deals up and away, ball 1 to Alex Gonzalez.
Usually Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, will give the pitch overs to catcher Jorge Posada, who flashes the sign to Clemens. That's the thing that slowed the game of baseball down, and often, particularly if your guy's established as Clemens, you resent that. You don't want anybody telling you when to throw over. I'll do it on my own. I won 299 games. Come on.
1 ball, no strikes. Gonzalez drops down a beauty. Going to take a good play from Clemens, and he turns it in. Runner down to second with 1 out on a sacrifice, 1-3.
Dusty Baker, the manager of the Cubs, playing the elements right here. He realizes he's got Kerry Wood on the mound. Cubs have not scored a lot of runs, and in 3 of his last starts, 6 starts, no runs for Kerry Wood. So Baker trying to strike early at Wrigley.
It presents an RBI chance for Corey Patterson. He really would be the best leadoff type hitter for this Cubs team, but because of the strikeouts that he piled up last season, and because he's still a young player, Dusty Baker doesn't want to thrust him into that spot where he did not do well a year ago. Makes a fastball 93 miles an hour for strike 1.
Yeah, he'd be an able candidate for a leadoff hitter if the Cubs had a good lineup. But the Cubs are a good team and close to first place because of their pitching, not their lineup.
To the right side, and Soriano was over toward the hole anyway. 2 out, and it's now a runner at third with 2 down, and Sammy Sosa coming up. You see the numbers for Sosa, which have led some to believe that if he knew the bat was corked on Tuesday, he was trying to get an edge to get his swing back. He has not been hitting anything and doing a lot of that, swinging and missing, this season for Chicago.
No home runs in his last 59 at bats. May 1st, the last time Sosa homered. Now, he was on the DL for 3 weeks.
99 miles per hour from Clemens.
You'd be foolish to throw anything other than a high fastball again to Sosa.
They appeal to first, and the first base umpire, Jim Reynolds, says that Sosa checked his swing. It's 1-2, and you expect another fastball.
You keep going to the same well. The water's good. High fastball.
We had a chance to discuss Sosa during our pregame show. We will as this game wears on. Not now. Let's watch a 1-2 pitch from Clemens to Sosa. Left side. Ventura ranging. The throw, inning over. And with help from his defense, a good start for the Hall of Famer. 1 inning complete at Wrigley. No score.
It's time you expected more from an insurance company. Because at Progressive.com, you can get our price for car insurance, plus the rates of other big-name companies. And that could save you hundreds.
We can help you save money, even if it's not with us.
Call Progressive today, or visit Progressive.com. Compare rates and buy a policy instantly. We can help you save money, even if it's not with us. You could start saving now. Call Progressive today. Not what you'd expect from an insurance company.
And you, Wyatt, how'd you make your first billion?
Oil and cattle. Let's call it offshore banking.
Ah! And you, Jones, we're all curious. How'd you make your first billion?
Me? Oh, Pepsi.
You invented Pepsi.
Oh, no, I just drank one.
Want your first billion? Enter Pepsi's Play for a Billion sweepstakes. 1,000 winners compete for a guaranteed million on live TV. And one may even win 1 billion.
You guys got a foosball table?
Check specially marked Pepsi products.
This is the latest. This isn't. This is the latest. This isn't. And when it comes to athlete's foot, this is the latest. This isn't. Lotrimin Ultra, the latest prescription strength medicine available without a prescription. Lotrimin Ultra, the latest advancement for relief of itching and burning. The latest cure, so ultra powerful, 1 use a day is all you need. Nothing's proven to be stronger or faster, and nothing's newer. Lotrimin Ultra, the killer cure.
All right, kids, today we're going to rob a home run, and this is how it's done.
Major League Baseball Charities is a proud partner of Boys and Girls Clubs of America.
Come on, you got to rob back.
You guys want to know about the Rally Cab? Make a big W. This is an important part of baseball.
Through programs like RBI and Rookie League, they bring baseball and softball to kids around the world.
Ooh, you're supposed to jump.
Together, they create a positive place for kids.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh!
Lori thinks her boyfriend is cheating on her, so she's hired a gorgeous model to test his fidelity.
Nicole, going out with me?
Yeah, drinks. Everything's fine with me.
Busted, the new series, Anything from Love, premieres Monday, June 16th on Fox.
No score as we move to the top of the second. It'll be Jorge Posada, Robin Ventura, and Raul Mondesi against Kerry Wood, who had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Posada batting the cleanup spot, hitting .264. Didn't catch here yesterday, and he takes low for ball 1. As Posada stands in, we'll tell you that home runs will make a difference today. Fox Sports, in partnership with CapCure, will make sure that every home run hit in today's game will help fight prostate cancer and help keep Dad in the game. $15,000 will be donated for every home run hit. 1 ball, 1 strike from Kerry Wood to Posada.
Nice tradition started several years ago. Both Joe Torre and Dusty Baker, the managers today, have had prostate cancer and highly supported of this terrific program.
Michael Milken is a man behind the cause, and we will hear from him in the booth next inning. 2 balls and a strike. Posada, big rip. 2-2. We need to talk about the Sosa situation as you look at 2 prostate cancer survivors, Joe Torre and Dusty Baker. Sammy Sosa will forever be linked to that Tuesday night and the cork bat incident, which happened here with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in town. It will trail him wherever he goes from here on, and it has at least cast a shadow over things that have been accomplished to this point. As strikeout number 3 rings up for Kerry Wood. I think Major League Baseball is trying and was trying to give Sammy Sosa and the situation every chance it could to look as good as possible, for good reason. They tested the other 76 bats. They tested the 5 bats that are in the possession of the Hall of Fame. I'm sure all the while hoping to find nothing else in any of the bats because of what Sammy Sosa means to this game, as Ventura fouls it back. And Tim, you and I have talked about it plenty. Sammy Sosa is the game's most marketable athlete.
Right.
He plays the game with a smile on his face. He plays it up to the fans. He says all the right things. That's why it was so shocking and heartbreaking when cork was discovered in his bat here on Tuesday night.
Because everything leading up to that tainting, and I agree with you, that career is forever tainted. Time will pass, of course, and it will become less so in 5-10 years. What about the electric stuff of Kerry Wood, meanwhile?
4 strikeouts for the right-hander, and the 2 out and nobody on. A chance to strike out the side with Raul Mondesi coming up.
And Joe, that was my point before the game. You know, respectful of everything that Sammy has accomplished, I just do not believe, again, that he went up to the plate and didn't realize that that bat was corked. Number one, he said that he used it in batting practice, so therefore he's very familiar with it. And major league players have earned millions of dollars with these bats. They know every inch of them. They can read little cracks in them. They look at them. They even come out at 5 o'clock for a night game. They check to see whether the pitchers are using their game bats. It is inconceivable that Sammy Sosa took a bat to home plate with which he was unfamiliar.
1 ball, 1 strike as that misses off the outside corner, a point that hasn't been brought up. And I think it would be very interesting if they could find the barrel end of the bat to see if Sammy Sosa's name is on that bat.
It's disappeared. That gate.
Strike 2, a swinging strike from Mondesi, and now indeed Kerry Wood has a chance to strike out the side. We'll finish that point a bit later. This crowd into it. Two and 2. You wonder if a player would cork a bat with basically his fingerprint right on the outside of it with his name emblazoned on the barrel of the bat.
That's what utility men are for, right? Cork one of their bats.
Kerry Wood looking for a 2-2 strike to Mondesi. Full count.
That was a curveball that stayed inside to Raul Mondesi. It's tough to lay off of pitches like that. Throw a 3-2 curve right now, you have him. His curveball is unhittable so far.
Just fighting to get a piece of it is Raul Mondesi. I mean, just overpowering here in the first 2 innings is this sensational 25-year-old right-hander Kerry Wood, who missed the entire 1999 season with a torn ligament in his right elbow. Trying to finish off Mondesi and the Yankees here in the second. On the infield, that's Grudzielanek. And that's the end of the inning.
Introducing TGI Fridays Summer Salads. Try our new Strawberry Fields, Zesty Southwest Caesar, or Friday's favorite pecan-crusted chicken. All made to order fresh and delicious. Friday's Summer Salads. Hurry in, because summer never tasted so good.
Now may be the best time ever to buy a Carrier heating and cooling system. Introducing Cool Cash, where you can get a rebate of up to $600 on qualifying new Carrier systems. Call 1-800-CARRIER for a participating dealer.
Own the #1 DVD in America. Brosnan.
Let's get down to business.
Barry.
I'm a girl that just doesn't like to get tied down.
Bond.
James Bond.
Die Another Day. The 2-disc special edition DVD. Own it today.
Ants, fleas, and ticks on your lawn can be a real pain. Right, Murphy? But even worse are the bugs that destroy your lawn from below. You see these dead brown patches? Cutworms. And grubs eating the roots. The solution? Ortho Bug Be Gone. Bug Be Gone's exclusive formula kills the ants, fleas, and ticks above. and those lawn killers below. Ortho Bug Be Gone for a beautiful bug-free lawn, guaranteed. Ortho, always the right solution.
Halibut with polenta cake sounds good. Oh, but polenta sometimes makes me break out. I will get, a vegan club sandwich. Vegans are like so in. Is the salmon East Coast or West Coast? That'll just do a number on me.
I can come back
Maybe
later.
Crab cakes. I haven't had crab cakes.
Sir? Porterhouse. Medium. Rare. Slaw. Cobb. Ranch. Blue. Fries. Baked. Toppings. All of them.
Oh, here's something. Coconut dipped shrimp sauté with pilaf. I like pilaf.
On a gorgeous day in Chicago, Fox Saturday Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. We are in constant contact with scouts. There are scouts around the country watching this game right now. Steve Horn in our booth, our editorial consultant, spoke to one, said that pitch that Clemens threw past Sosa last inning, that 99-mile-an-hour pitch, is the hardest pitch they've seen him throw in years.
Wow. A little extra adrenaline facing Sammy Sosa at Wrigley Field.
I would imagine. Who could blame him?
No, right.
Moises Alou at the plate on the inside corner. 93 miles per hour, and the count's 0-2. Alou, then Hee-Seop Choi, then Lenny Harris. The third base position for the Chicago Cubs. There's kind of a vacancy sign hanging over that position, and there has been for a while here. Every organization seems to have that one spot that they have trouble filling, and third base has been it.
The Yankees and left fielders. Been a problem for them for the last 13 years.
A 1-2 pitch to Alou. Still 1-2. There is talk that and you look at Ron Santo, a guy who could end up in the Hall of Fame and should end up in the Hall of Fame.
I agree with you. 342 lifetime home runs. What a player here for the Cubs.
And just bleeds Cub blue. Radio analyst for the Chicago Cubs, working with Pat Hughes, as Alou just got a piece of it. There is talk that the Cubs may end up making a run at Mike Lowell of the Florida Marlins. If they end up with Lowell, who is putting together a fantastic first half of the season all across the board and is a tough, good player. There are many people within this division that believe because of the Cubs starting pitching, it could send them over the top and win the Central Division for them.
Yeah, if you don't have to give up one of those young right-handers like a guy like Zambrano to get Lowell. But they need extra punch. There is no question.
Alou got that off the end of the bat. And coming in is Rivera for the first out here in the second. Let's go back to the first inning in that 99-mile-an-hour pitch from Roger Clemens past the bat of Sosa. Overmatched.
Yeah, and the one Sosa put in play was 93, which points up an interesting point. High fastballs are often thrown harder than low fastballs.
Hee-Seop Choi pops it up. Left side. Playable at the moment for Ventura, who finds it for the second out. 2 up, 2 down. Today's Sprint Virtual Manager question is, should Roger Clemens be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame with a Red Sox cap or a Yankees cap? To answer the question, use your PCS Vision phone from Sprint. Log on to foxsports.com. Keyword MLB on Fox. We'll have the results for you later on in the game. Lenny Harris now, the all-time pinch hit leader in Major League Baseball history. Takes a pitch, breaking ball from Roger Clemens for strike one. 175 career pinch hits for Lenny Harris. Late in that strike two.
Lenny with his 1,000th hit on Thursday. A big standing ovation here. An enormously popular player for the myriad teams for which he's played. Popular again here in Chicago. And in my view, on all the rosters of Major League players, this guy should be a Major League manager if he wants to be. We've said that before. Very bright, understands the situations in the clubhouse, great baseball mind. He can manage if he wants to.
And that would figure, because if your playing time is dictated by game situations and you're sitting on the bench trying to think through a game, well, let's see, where am I going to come up? What has to happen for me to get to the plate? You're always thinking like a manager.
That's
over
a great
at the dugout.
point. That's right.
The 2-2
exactly
pitch.
Right.
Too far outside, full count.
Yeah, I mean, he's been managing all these years anyway.
This crowd wants a reason to erupt, and there are a lot of Yankee fans in attendance here at Wrigley today, as Harris doesn't give them a reason to. Little fly ball into left field. Easy for Rivera, and that'll do it for Chicago in the second. We go to the third. No score. Clemens and Wood. Fox Sports, home of the 2003 All-Star Game. Back after this from your local station. Can't read the paper when you pay that kind of money for a seat at this game. Welcome back to the ballpark.
It's like a racing form.
First pitch of the bottom of the third inning. Breaking ball from Clemens is a strike to Damian Miller. Joe Buck, Michael Milken, and Tim McCarver. And Michael, we have you in the booth to once again, as we do every year, talk about Cap Cure.
Well, I've got my Cap Cure baseball uniform on today.
As Miller grounds one to the shortstop. Jeter, the ball comes up for him, 1 out.
And
every year we
raised
talk
$20
about
million.
every
$20
year we
million
talk about this, and tell us exactly what transpires to raise the $20 million that you've raised.
This is our 7th year, and every home run hit in 60 ball games. Between this game today and the last game on Father's Day, Seattle and Atlanta, people pledge money for home runs. They can pledge as little as dime and as much as $10,000 a home run. And all this money goes to prostate cancer research.
With 1 out, Kerry Wood would love nothing more than to get a hit, or even more, against Roger Clemens. A big swing for strike 1.
So this awareness effort of Major League Baseball has helped to substantially reduce the death rate in America from prostate cancer.
How much money have you
raised? We've raised
few years?
just over the home run challenge about $20 million, and overall we've raised about $200 million for prostate cancer research. And I will be traveling to see 18 baseball games here.
Look at these swings by Kerry Wood. The count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, I know it's no coincidence that here we are at Wrigley, the Yankees and the Cubs, Joe Torre, Dusty Baker, 2 guys that I know you've leaned on heavily to get the word out about prostate cancer research.
That is correct. They've both been great spokespersons for prostate cancer research.
Kerry Wood will turn and head back to the dugout.
And I think they're both examples of people that are healthy, vibrant, and the fact that it's a survivable disease, particularly if diagnosed early, and it's so easy to go get a blood test. And anyone can participate, and we have a pledge number, 1-800-547-CURE. Last year we had 126 home runs. We were down a little from the year 2000 when we had 160 home runs.
Grudzielanek at the plate with 2 out, and the first pitch is high for ball 1. Well, Michael, thanks for stopping by and
I appreciate it.
giving us the update.
We want to thank you. We want to thank News Corp, Fox, and Major League Baseball for all the awareness that you've created to reduce prostate cancer deaths.
Thank you, Michael. Little high and tight to the leadoff man, Mark Grudzielanek. He singled his first time up. That's the way the game started. Then a bunt by Alex Gonzalez got Grudzielanek down to second. Corey Patterson with a ground out. Sosa grounded out. Took a good play from Ventura to keep a run off the board. Now a 2-0 pitch. Grudzielanek hits it into center on a line, and there is Matsui. That'll do it for the Cubs in the third. We go to the 4th inning. Kerry Wood back to the hill. The Yankees don't have a hit yet. There's still no score.
You ready, my man?
I was born ready.
Hey, Rick, sure is getting close to lunchtime, huh?
It sure is, Jim.
Any ideas?
Well, Subway's got something delicious, like the new Chipotle Southwest Steak and Cheese. Sliced steak topped with melted cheese and a new Chipotle sauce for an added spicy kick. Served hot on fresh baked gourmet bread. You know, I can go for one right now.
Yeah. Whoa. Excellent work, my friend.
Yeah.
Subway, eat fresh.
Now may be the best time ever to buy a Carrier heating and cooling system. Introducing Cool Cash, where you can get a rebate of up to $600 on qualifying new Carrier systems. Call 1-800-CARRIER for a participating dealer.
The Remington Microscreen TCT. The most cutting blades, our most powerful motor, and the only shaver with not 2, but 3 flexing screens. Why 3? Because that's what it takes for the best shave. Get the best shave. Get a Remington.
Designing an all-season tire to outperform performance tires wasn't rocket science. Then again, maybe it was. Pilot Sport AS, our most advanced Z-rated tire ever. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
The best things in life are pure. Aquafina, purity guaranteed.
Fox Saturday Baseball brought to you by Aquafina. The best things in life are pure. Aquafina bottled water, purity guaranteed. And by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. The seats are full. The bleachers are full. The sun is out. The sky is blue. The wind is blowing in from right, and the rooftops are full. Derek Jeter trying any way he can to get on base. Shows bunt and takes ball 1. Jeter, Giambi, and Posada. For New York, there's no score, and the Yankees look for their first hit.
Any place standing, standable, or sittable to view this game is taken.
Jeter did not hold up. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's across Waveland. It runs along left center field. That's strike 2. Sheffield runs along right and right center. And no matter where you are, there are people down on the street waiting for a home run ball. There are people up above trying to stretch out and see some part of the action from a rooftop. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Another strikeout. That's 5 on the day for Kerry Wood. Match up with Roger Clemens, and so far it's Kerry Wood that's racking up the strikeouts, as you, beginning of our telecast, thought might happen.
Yeah, Kerry on May 6th, 1998, in only his 5th major league start, he struck out 20 against the Houston Astros, a 1-hitter allowing 2 base runners. Neither he hit a batter, and there was a single in that game. But he did not walk anybody. And when Clemens struck out 20 for the Boston Red Sox against Detroit, he didn't walk anybody in either game. Remarkable.
Giambi trying to go up and get it, and a pop-up, and Kerry Wood's hoping somebody says, I got it. And it's Hee-Seop Choi as the 2 collide. Kerry Wood and Hee-Seop Choi, and Choi went down hard.
Oh boy, he hit his head, lost his cap, and hit his head right on the other side of the foul line between home and third. The catcher, Damian Miller, did not see the ball. And keep in mind, the catcher is the only infielder that doesn't have glasses, other than, of course, the pitcher. Sunglasses. Oh boy.
Pull back and not get too close to the scene along the third base line. Immediately, Hee-Seop Choi went unconscious, and everybody's standing there with hands on hips, just praying that he'll be okay.
After the catcher couldn't make the play, now Wood gets in the way of Choi, but the way I saw it, it was when Choi came down and the head going back and falling back. A whiplash effect right there.
It happened in that hard dirt area as opposed to the grass, which certainly makes a difference. Wood was hoping he would hear "I've got it." Finally he did, and then it looked like the ball moved a little bit. Wood got back into the play with the wind blowing from our right to our left. The ball moved just at the end, and Kerry Wood kind of jumped back into the play. That's when he collided with Hee-Seop Choi. And then Hee-Seop Choi hit the ground.
Don't think the injury came there, but right there. Hee-Seop is a very big man. He weighs 240 pounds, and it looked like the back of his head took the brunt of the body.
You can see him responding. The eyes are closed, but it looked like he was responding to questioning he's getting from the Cubs training staff. There are doctors down on the field now. And there's obviously no need to speculate from up in the booth. We'll just sit and watch with you and hope and pray that he'll be all right. Kerry Wood is now walking off the field and is going to, well, we'll see what he's going to do. Take a moment. Wipe off. I mean, Kerry Wood was involved in the collision as well. He came down. But I believe he came down, and I was looking more at Choi. It looked like Wood came down more on the grass.
Yeah.
Kevin Kennedy is standing by down in the dugout. Well, can you add anything to the conversation, Kevin?
No, I mean, obviously I can't get on the field, but Mike Mussina just came up to me. They're not sure what hit Hee-Seop Choi, whether it was the elbow, and I'm looking at the video. It looks like either Kerry Wood's hand or his head, and he went back. But nobody here is, no, even the Yankees are all trying to ask me, and they don't know what happened either.
Team physician Dr. Stephen Adams is one of the doctors attending to Hee-Seop Choi, along with the training staff for the Cubs, and they will be ultra careful. As you look one more time, there's Wood landing in the grass, and the head and neck of Hee-Seop Choi coming down on that hard dirt along the third baseline. I mean, immediately Lenny Harris called for help.
If you're wondering why Lenny Harris, the third baseman, didn't make that play since the ball was between third and home, was, Joe, as you alluded to, the wind blowing from right field toward the Cubs dugout took that ball between home plate and the pitcher's mound to the third base side. Otherwise, Harris has the best play. The catcher, Damian Miller, did not see the ball, so he was ruled out immediately. And when Wood saw that, then only he and Choi had a chance for it. And it was Choi, the taller of the two, who made the play.
It really was, in retrospect, a terrific play by
Yes.
Hee-Seop Choi just to get there, find it, kind of lunging after the ball made the catch, and then he and Wood came together and Choi went down. So now they're going to open up the wagon gate area down the right field line and bring an ambulance straight onto Wrigley Field. You're obviously dealing with a head and neck area.
Yeah.
If you look at Andy MacPhail, president of the Chicago Cubs team. With this type injury, with the way Hee-Seop Choi came down, they will be so careful as they attempt to move him into that ambulance.
I think the Yankees are familiar with a very serious injury this year. Derek Jeter injured in mid-April on a play at third base, separating his left shoulder. So the Yankees have seen this before with the ambulance on the field. That happened at Sky Dome in Toronto.
Come into a game like this, Tim, and you think about what's going to happen on Saturday and everything that happened on Tuesday, and talking about Sosa with the cork bat and Roger Clemens going for win number 300. Then something like this happens and it puts it all back into perspective.
Not that we needed that, Joe. I remember after your father passed last summer, we did a game at Wrigley Field, and we were informed about 15 minutes before the scheduled game time that Darryl Kyle had died in his hotel room, and that was the last game that we were supposed to do at Wrigley Field. And now this.
With a backboard to get Hee-Seop Choi onto the gurney, and when we get more and when Kevin Kennedy learns more from down on the field, we will certainly pass it along. Dusty Baker handing a baseball inside the ambulance as this crowd was chanting Hee-Seop Choi's name, and now Kerry Wood is back out on the field with most of his teammates, and Wood, I'm sure, will be allowed as long as he needs to compose himself and get ready to face Jorge Posada with 2 out in the 4th inning.
You know, Joe, when you alluded to Kerry Wood and his involvement in that, suggesting that perhaps there could have been an injury to him, I didn't even think about that initially. The play once again, because Wood goes into Choi, and perhaps Hee-Seop took a blow from Wood and the ground, certainly off balanced. But because Hee-Seop wasn't moving, I didn't think of Kerry, but looks after one more view of that play that Kerry could have been at least shaken up on the play. Appears to be okay.
So Eric Karros will take over at first base for Hee-Seop Choi. So our thoughts and prayers are with Choi as that ambulance nose inside, ready to exit the field. Kerry Wood says he's ready to go, but he stands there with his hands on his hips looking at the ambulance, and Karros gets loose, ready to play baseball again after the ambulance exits.
Looks as though the attendants of the ambulance perhaps could be in the rear with Hee-Seop because right now I don't see anyone in the driver's seat. Tone this game is taking.
There's a firehouse right across the street. An ambulance belongs to the Chicago Fire Department. And it got here fast. Making way out on the street, opening up the gates, and now off it goes. And as soon as we learn anything about the condition of Hee-Seop Choi, we will get it to you immediately. Firehouse. So the ambulance has headed out. Kerry Wood says a prayer and is ready to go back and pitch. Jorge Posada will be the hitter for the Yankees. Blemish on the record of Kerry Wood so far is the 1-out 4-pitch walk to Juan Rivera. Other than that, Kerry Wood has been dominating these Yankee hitters. The Yankees come in only 9th in the American League with a team batting average of .269. On the outside corner for a strike to Posada, who struck out his first time up. You always get that odd feeling after something like that happens, just sitting and watching a sporting event, let alone, I'm sure, if you're Kerry Wood trying now to refocus and get your attention back on a hitter at the plate. A guy who has hit 13 home runs this season. The count goes to 1-2.
And of all things, pitching a no-hitter here in the 4th inning.
Ball and 2 strikes. Another strikeout for Kerry Wood. He has 6 on the afternoon. The Yankees go in order. Cubs coming up, including Sosa. No score. It's Roger Clemens, who has allowed only a leadoff hit in the bottom of the 1st to Grudzielanek. He has 1 strikeout. He struck out Kerry Wood last inning. So far, it is the pitching matchup that many expected as this week unfolded, and it would be Clemens against Wood as Derek Jeter takes care of Alex Gonzalez. 1 away in the bottom of the 4th inning. Our Radio Shack trivia question: which team does Roger Clemens have the most wins against? Which player has he struck out the most? And our Radio Shack trivia question answer: 28 wins against the Angels. He struck out Greg Vaughn 25 times. Vaughn, who has been released and has since signed with Colorado this past week, as Patterson grounds out to second. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring in Sosa with the bases empty. Sammy Sosa has gone 36 days since his last home run. He hit his first major league home run with Texas at Fenway Park against Roger Clemens. who toward the end of a long week he faces here at Wrigley Field.
Clemens featured 4 fastballs against Sosa in his first at bat.
And he features one here, 92 miles an hour, strike 1. Sosa spent about 3 weeks on the disabled list with an injured toe. As Sosa lines one to Soriano and the inning is over. Now the Cubs go in order. Roger Clemens a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 5th here at Wrigley Field. Ventura will lead it off for the Yankees. No score.
Sosa. Jace. Hey, oh, come on. 2 out of 3. I don't think so.
Hey, who Babe Ruth?
The first major advance for the fastest treatment of athlete's foot is Lamisil AT. Lamisil AT is the first non-prescription medicine proven to kill the fungus with just 1 week's use. Not even a prescription can beat that. Lotrimin AF and Tinactin still expect you to treat for 4 weeks. Who's going to do that? When your feet itch and burn, using Lamisil AT 1 week keeps you athlete's foot free 3 months. Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
Every stomach needs a first aid kit for all those unexpected bites and burns and cuts and scrapes and spills and other stomach irritations. Pepto-Bismol is first aid for stomachs. As it coats, it relieves most any stomach problem, not just a few like these other leading medicines. Pepto-Bismol. In any emergency, it's first aid for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, and upset stomachs.
Psst, Howie, you know how dads like you give. And give. And give.
Well, at Radio Shack, we believe it's about time dads receive. So get Dad cooking with a wireless barbecue thermometer on sale for $39.99. Or a Motorola color screen phone from Verizon Wireless on sale for $79.99 with activation. That's $150 savings. Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
This summer, smart kid like you've got to have a plan. Journey to a whole new world.
What do you think of Newport?
I think I can get in less trouble where I'm from.
You have no idea.
The OC coming soon to Fox.
With the wind blowing in from right, the Yankees bat in the 5th inning. Robin Ventura first up. He struck out his first time, and that's strike 1. Joe Buck and Tim McCarver with you, and the story with Hee-Seop Choi. He has been taken to Illinois Masonic Hospital, and as soon as we get word, we'll pass it on. A couple of things. Kevin Kennedy is in the clubhouse trying to find out everything he can about the situation and what was known when Hee-Seop left. And then on top of that, from what we understand from Major League Baseball, whatever the diagnosis may be, they will let this crowd here at Wrigley Field know it, so they could breathe a sigh of relief if indeed all is okay with Hee-Seop Choi. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's on the inside corner from Kerry Wood. Strike 2 on Ventura, who stood in there in his first at bat, hitting .288. Longtime Chicago White Sox third baseman. In with the Yankees. In with the Mets. That's on the outside corner. 7 strikeouts for Kerry Wood.
It is so difficult for a left-handed batter to try to fight off the fastballs and then get the backdoor breaking ball. Just can't pull the trigger that quickly. By design, breaking ball on the outside corner to get Ventura.
So now with 1 out, Raul Mondesi stands in. I know from our little chat with Joe Torre before the game that you have been impressed watching from afar the effort that Mondesi is giving the Yankees this season as that pitch misses low and away.
I don't think Raul Mondesi has played the best ball of his year of his career. After all, he's a bit older now, but I have never seen the effort put forth by Mondesi prior to this year throughout his career. An enormously talented, gifted outfielder with a great arm, power, built like a tank, could run like the wind.
Check swing for strike 2.
There are those in Los Angeles who think that Mondesi flaunted a lot of that, did not live up to capabilities. That's always a hard thing to pinpoint, but this year, I'll tell you, he is playing very, very hard for Joe Torre and the Yankees.
Ball and 2 strikes, and that just missed Mondesi. Able to get out of the way, 2-2. Intentional or not, that will be in the mind of Mondesi as he digs his way in gingerly on a 2-2 pitch facing Kerry Wood, who has hit 10 batters this season.
A lot of times Kerry, his breaking ball breaks so much, he hits hitters.
Now it's a full count.
I remember watching a game between the Cardinals and the Cubs, first time the Cardinals came in here, where he hit Fernando Vina with about a 56-foot breaking ball, and Vina swung at the ball.
Hit him in the ankle.
Yeah, so it was a strike and not a hit batsman.
Mondesi fouls it back toward us. Well, Mondesi's stock had dropped so far that he was basically given to the Yankees by Toronto.
Yeah.
And so he has put forth more effort this season, and the Yankees have needed him with the way this team has hit. After a tremendous 18-3 start, they're 17-22 since. 2 out, 8 strikeouts for Wood. We talk about hitting this season. How about hitting today? The in-game box score is brought to you by Subway. Soriano has a strikeout. Jeter 1. Giambi 1. Posada 2. Same for Ventura. Mondesi adds 1 here. And the only man to reach was Juan Rivera in the 3rd inning on a 1-out walk. And then a good bunt by Clemens to get one down fair against Kerry Wood. 2 out. Nobody on. Here's Matsui. Strike 1. 50 home runs a year ago for the Yomiuri Giants. So far, he has hit 4.
Joe, this is such an atypical game. I don't care where the wind, whether the wind's blowing in or not. It is a rare occurrence at Wrigley Field to be halfway through the game with only 1 hit by both sides.
And not just 1 hit, but look at these at-bats and look at these swings.
Terrible, and understandably terrible against the stuff that these 2 guys are featuring today. Hitters have been hapless. .84-mile-an-hour breaking ball, and it's hooked foul. So this crowd, after that scare with Hee-Seop Choi, trying to work its way back into the action. Two balls, 2 strikes. That was close.
Close. That was a swing.
That was a swing. I thought so. I thought he went through. A tightly wrapped breaking ball out of the strike zone. Yankees get a break.
You talk about a defensive swing, and it's not just Matsui. Whoever has been in the batter's box for the Yankees today against Kerry Wood has had a tough time just putting the bat on the ball. Looking for strikeout number 9. Full count. Wood has walked 1. Ripped into right field. That ball's got a chance to go. 1-0 Yankees. first hit of the day is the first run of the day for the Yankees. A 2-out home run after the check swing that went the Yankees' way. Matsui gets another chance and makes the most of it.
That's what Dusty Baker was looking down at third base umpire Laz Diaz. Furious. That was a 3-2 breaking ball. And remember earlier we talked about Joe Torre's admittance that Hideki Matsui was having trouble with the two-seam fastball. He is grounded out more than any other major leaguer this year. He gets a breaking ball and puts the Yankees on top.
Now Rivera flies to Sosa in right. At least 4 breaking balls in that sequence that I can remember, including that sat there, and Matsui goes deep at Wrigley Field. But that happened only because this was not called a swing, and consequently strike 3. A few pitches later, the home run for Matsui, number 5 on the year, and the Yankees strike first.
You ready, my man?
I was born ready.
Hey, Rick, sure is getting close to lunchtime, huh?
It sure is, Jim.
Any ideas?
Well, Subway's got something delicious, like the new Chipotle Southwest Steak and Cheese. Sliced steak topped with melted cheese and a new Chipotle sauce for an added spicy kick. Served hot on fresh baked gourmet bread. You know, I can go for one right now.
Yeah. Whoa. Excellent work, my friend.
Yeah.
Subway, eat fresh.
You gelling? No telling how much I'm gelling. You gelling? You know I'm gelling.
Hey, Ellen, you gelling?
I'm gelling like a felon. You want some melon?
Nah, but hey, I'm like mud gelling. I'm so gelling.
Nice.
Are you gelling yet? Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are made from the softest gel ever created. If you and your shoes don't feel outrageously comfortable, you get your money back. Guaranteed.
I'm gelling.
You're not gelling. You're so not gelling.
Are you gelling yet? Dr. Scholl. Look, feel, do better.
No matter where you are, with Sprint wireless phones from Radio Shack, you can take and send pictures instantly. Not that I'm going Hollywood or anything. So come to Radio Shack, your wireless phone headquarters.
Isn't that?
Get PCS Vision Picture Phone with Picture Mail that talks from Sprint. Take and send pictures with a recorded message, just $99.99.
I knew it was him.
It was him.
Not that I'm going Hollywood or anything.
Radio Shack.
Fox Saturday Baseball brought to you by Subway. Fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh. By Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles. Are you gelling yet? By Carrier, the world leader in heating and air conditioning for 100 years. And by Radio Shack. You've got questions? We've got answers. The Yankee hitters saying, all right, Rocket. There you go, big man. There's your run. 1-0 as Clemens makes his bid for career victory number 300. Moises Alou first up. Breaking ball for a strike. Karros will follow, and then Lenny Harris. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is a rather young umpiring crew working this series between the Yankees and the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike. That includes Dan Iassogna behind the plate as the count goes to 1-2.
Joe, I happened to see the game yesterday, as you did. A lot of people in Chicago so interested in this series, but it does not look to me like Moises Alou is swinging the bat properly. Looks like he's hurt.
Second strikeout for Clemens.
Had a base hit in yesterday's game, but that is not the Moises Alou that we are used to seeing. His swings have been poor. Noticed it even the first time up. Of course, both pitchers are throwing awfully hard, and they can make you look like that. But Alou in particular, even yesterday, looked like he was swinging the bat hurt.
Now with 1 out, nobody on, here's Eric Karros. Late on that swing and a pop-up. It is drifting foul, and it drops untouched. There's a good effort by Mondesi, more of what you're talking about. Roger Clemens trying to get through the 5th inning with a lead. It's Karros now, Lenny Harris on deck.
Dangerous play. Most mounds that are in the field of play are dangerous. Mondesi trying to avoid the little rise in the mound. That, of course, where pitchers warm up. Bullpenners, starting pitchers.
Just here hit it from Roger Clemens, and Karros couldn't. 0-2.
Catch Me If You Can. Like a good name of the movie.
Yeah. With 1 out and the base is empty, no balls, 2 strikes. One and 2. Roger Clemens lost to the Red Sox in New York on May 26th. Lost on Sunday, or at least got a no decision. Lost the chance to win his 300th. The Yankees won it in 17 innings, 10-9, as that is a foul ball. And Clemens had allowed 14 runs in his last 2 starts. A different sort of Roger Clemens here today.
Had a 6-run lead last Sunday in Detroit. That was a game that the Yankees came back to win after blowing that lead. They won it in the 17th inning against the Tigers. Then they went to Cincinnati, lost the first 2 games. They won Thursday night in Cincinnati. Here Clemens is again trying to once again win 300.
His 3rd try, early win, has the most. Took him 8. A splitter to make it 2 balls, 2 strikes. Clemens' best year in the big leagues, 1986, 24-4. Cy Young Award winner, his first of 6, and the MVP that season as well. Here's a 2-2 from number 22. It's low. It's a full count. There's the resume for the future Hall of Famer. He didn't get the World Series titles until he joined the Yankees. He was the pitcher in Game 4, and they beat the Braves in '99. That's 2 out, and that's back-to-back strikeouts and 3 on the afternoon for Roger Clemens. Tomorrow, the scene shifts to Pocono for exciting NASCAR Winston Cup racing. Dale Jarrett looks to defend his title against the best drivers in the world in the Pocono 500, presented by Subway. NASCAR returns to Fox tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Lenny Harris takes a strike. Harris flied out to left his first time up. Now it's 0-2, and Clemens could strike out the side. Roger Clemens looking for his 4th strikeout. He came into the game 9 strikeouts shy of becoming just the 3rd pitcher in Major League Baseball history to reach 4,000 in his career. Harris didn't go.
There is no way that Laz Diaz was going to punch out Lenny Harris then. Not after the disputed call last time. And I'm trying to be as fair as I can. I mean, Laz Diaz is a human being. The Matsui thing, he homers after the check swing. I didn't think Harris went around. I thought that was a good call. Not so with Matsui. I thought he went around as you did.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Harris now, as Dusty Baker did. He thought Matsui was finished. He thought the Yankees were finished hitting in the top of this 5th inning. A couple of pitches later, Matsui hit his 5th Yankee home run. 2-2 pitch. Another strikeout. That's 4 on the day. Clemens now 5 shy of 4,000 in his career. 1-0 Yankees after 5 at Wrigley.
Ted? Hey man, remember how Ted was talking about his new acting job, but he was a little hazy on the details? Right up here, baby. Well, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Pickle Boy.
I'm so glad I got to see this.
Happy to help.
Introducing Picture Mail That Talks from Sprint. Share it when it happens.
Every stomach needs a first aid kit for all those unexpected bites and burns and cuts and scrapes and spills and other stomach irritations. Pepto-Bismol is first aid for stomachs. As it coats, it relieves most any stomach problem, not just a few like these other leading medicines. Pepto-Bismol. In any emergency, it's first aid for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, and upset stomachs.
Matsui, Clemens, then Soriano, then Jeter. 0-2. With everything that's going on the field, we barely scratched the surface with the Sosa situation.
Yeah.
Hardly talked about Joe Torre and the ups and downs he's gone through personally and professionally with this Yankee situation, as 9 strikeouts now are on the board for Kerry Wood. And with 1 out, nobody on, Alfonso Soriano walks in. The only reason I brought up earlier about the barrel of the bat having Sosa's name on it, I think it would work in a way to Sosa's defense if his name was on the barrel of the bat that was corked that broke in the game. If it isn't, if it's a blank bat or if it's the name, you go through these bat racks in a dugout and you can find names on bats from guys who've been traded 10 years ago.
That's true. That's right.
I mean, there may be a McCarver bat down in the bat rack right now for the Cubs.
I was traded a little longer than 10 years ago.
You never know. But these bats have a way of lingering.
Yeah, that's true.
And if a guy grabs onto a bat that he likes and it doesn't break and a guy moves on, the bat sometimes stays behind. Or guys retire. 1 ball, 1 strike on Soriano. But if his name isn't on the barrel of the bat, and again the barrel of the bat hasn't been found, then them checking 76 of Sosa's bats with his name on them doesn't mean anything. I think it'd just be interesting to see if they found the barrel of the bat, which is missing. Bat Boy grabs it after the barrel of the bat breaks on that Tuesday night against Tampa Bay, and it hasn't popped up since. It will. I guarantee it will. But not now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It is just the talk of this town. The talk of the, as you brought up in the opening, it's overwhelmed all the other sports stories in baseball and other sports.
On 2-2. That's a foul ball. And we've all heard by now, or most have heard, the charges by Pedro Martinez and others that it's racially motivated. And believe me, I have no business stepping out on this limb because I'm not a Latin ball player in the big leagues. But my personal opinion is that there is so much awe involved here because Sammy Sosa is so loved.
Right.
Because he is such a hero to so many in the game that it was stunning and heartbreaking in a way that there was cork in his bat.
Yeah, there's empathy for Sosa, not the reverse.
I mean, how can you not love Sammy Sosa with the way he plays this game? The home runs that he hits, 3 times he has hit 60 or more home runs, the only player in Major League Baseball history to do it. That moment here at Wrigley, carrying the American flag around with him on a home run tour, and then playing to the cameras the night in September of '98 with McGwire, looking at the fans, smiling. I mean, this guy is everything to me that's right with the game of baseball, and then that happens, and it's like throwing a stick in the spokes of some kid riding a bike.
People are dumbfounded. Baseball fans are saying, how can that happen?
With 2 out, nobody on, an 0-1 pitch to Jeter is high and tight, a ball and a strike.
Joe, earlier in the game, we saw Sosa between innings saying hello to Hideki Matsui. Matsui was with the Yomiuri Giants when Sosa was over there, an unbelievably popular figure in Japan. So you have to wonder what the Japanese people are thinking right now of their hero, Sammy Sosa, who used a cork bat, has apologized for it. Matsui, of course, the reason I bring that up right now, he's the difference in this ball game.
Two out, nobody on. A ball and 2 strikes on Jeter. Just blown away. And strikeout number 10. Another double-digit strikeout day for Kerry Wood. But the only number that matters to him and the Cubs, 1. They're down 1-0, bottom of the 6th.
No matter where you are, with Sprint wireless phones from Radio Shack, you can take and send pictures instantly. Not that I'm going Hollywood or anything. So come to Radio Shack, your wireless phone headquarters.
Isn't that?
Get PCS Vision Picture Phone with picture mail that talks from Sprint. Take and send pictures with a recorded message, just $99.99.
It was him.
It was him.
Not that I'm going Hollywood or anything.
Radio Shack.
The best things in life are pure. Aquafina, purity guaranteed.
Now may be the best time ever to buy a Carrier heating and cooling system. Introducing Cool Cash, where you can get a rebate of up to $600 on qualifying new Carrier systems. Call 1-800-CARRIER for a participating dealer.
The Braun Synchro gives you Braun's closest shave ever. And its automatic self-cleaning system leaves your shaver so clean, it feels like new every day. Braun, designed to make a difference.
Designing an all-season tire to outperform performance tires wasn't rocket science. Then again, maybe it was. Pilot Sport AS, our most advanced Z-rated tire ever. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Cubs bat. They have the bottom 2 in their lineup. Miller, then Kerry Wood, then Grudzielanek. 1-0 Yankees on the Hideki Matsui home run, which happened in the 5th with 2 out. And a riding fastball from Clemens is high for ball 1. Miller, his first time, grounded out to short. It was a 5-3 victory here yesterday for the Yankees over Chicago, and that's pretty well hit down the left field line. Off the bat of Damian Miller into the corner, and it's a fair ball. Miller will cruise into second with a leadoff double. While Kerry Wood walks to the plate, the person he collided with, Hee-Seop Choi, is at the hospital for a brief update. Let's go down to Kevin Kennedy.
Thanks, Joe. I talked to the PR department of the Cubs. They said Dr. Steven Adams went with Hee-Seop Choi to the hospital. It's less than a half a mile away. He was conscious and moving when he got into the ambulance. So that's good news, I think.
Good news. And if we know any more, we'll pass it on. And they plan to announce something to the crowd if they have something more concrete before the end of this game. Right now, Wood is trying to get Miller over to third.
Keep in mind, Giambi has a poor throwing arm at first base. If you bunted hard to him, throwing to third would be a remote possibility. The one flaw in Giambi's game is he is a very, very poor thrower.
Former third baseman is Giambi. It's back to Clemens. He has no problem throwing. And out at third is Miller, one away.
That's why you try to bunt the ball toward the weaker part of the infield. If you bunt it to Giambi, he doesn't make that play. But Clemens, even at the age of 40, very adept at coming off the mound. The ball bunted hard. Damian Miller is not a fast runner. He's a catcher. And a fairly easy play. Watch Ventura. He moves in and now back. The turn and the throw by Clemens in time to get the slow-footed Miller.
Did you happen to catch Clemens' reaction? Like a 20-year-old rookie.
Yeah, that's a big, big play in this ball game.
Now they're looking at the glove hand of Ventura. Ventura got spiked by Damian Miller as he came sliding into third base.
A lot of times when a third baseman's trying to catch the ball, he knows the runner's near, and when he comes back, he doesn't know where the spikes are. That was a clean play by Miller, just a straight-in slide. But Ventura's back's to the play. He doesn't really know, but he comes over. He doesn't know where the spikes are, and it ends up going above the glove. Nice play by Ventura, but he suffered an injury in the process. Wood's upset because he bunted the ball back to Clemens, and he should be.
So Wood now has to run the bases, 1 on, 1 out, and Clemens gets a chance to loosen that throwing arm, as now everything appears to be okay, or at least okay enough for Ventura to continue. So a leadoff double, and the Cubs and Kerry Wood can't take advantage of it. The bunt back to Clemens. The fielder's choice 1-5. And now it's a runner at first, 1 out. For Grudzielanek, has hit the ball well today. He has singled. He is lined to center. Too far inside and no swing, says the first base umpire.
It's a weird play for Kerry Wood. A strikeout would have been better than what happened for the Cubs. Not only that, was the runner erased at third base, but now Wood has to run the bases.
Home plate umpire Dan Iassogna, who on what could be a very historic day is working the plate. Dan Iassogna is listed as a AAA reserve umpire, and he's working the plate here at Wrigley Field with Roger Clemens and Kerry Wood hooking up, as Kerry Wood is on the short end of a 1-0 Yankee lead, as Clemens pours one in for strike 2. Clemens with 299 career victories and 4 strikeouts on the afternoon. To the right side, not hard hit. Soriano and Jeter, they only get the lead man, and Kerry Wood went in spikes high on Derek Jeter.
Doing his job is one way to put it. Angry at not getting the runner to third is another way to put it. Because arguably, that little weak ground ball by Grudzielanek, had Damian Miller been on third, is a run, and this game's tied, and Wood knows it. The Yankees making sure of one, and they got it.
And the Yankees breathing a sigh of relief that Derek Jeter was able to get out of the way of that big body of Kerry Wood barreling down on him. So it's a runner at first, 2 out, and Alex Gonzalez, who has dropped down a bunt and grounded out, stands in.
Alex coming over from the Toronto Blue Jays last year, and he has got a ton of big hits for the Chicago Cubs. 8 game-winning hits in last at bats. Mr. Walkoff, they referred to him.
No balls and a strike. Our Sprint Virtual Manager question: which cap should be on the head of Clemens on his plaque in Cooperstown? And 55% said Yankees, as opposed to Red Sox. With Boston, he won 192 games from 1984 to 1996. In Toronto, he was there 2 years. Clemens was there in 97 and 98. He had 41 wins and 2 Cy Young Awards, and then traded to the Yankees February of 99 for David Wells, Graham Lloyd, and Homer Bush. Wells is his teammate with the Yankees. Graham Lloyd pitches for the Mets, and Homer Bush isn't playing anymore. Runner at first, 2 out. No balls and a strike on Gonzalez. Grudzielanek running, and the throw by Posada sails into center field, and now Grudzielanek will be 90 feet away with 2 out.
Only the second stolen base of the year for Grudzielanek. He chose a good pitch on which to run. It was a splitter that was effective. Looked like a slider, not a splitter, but a poor throw by Posada gets by Soriano. That in-between hop over the glove of Soriano and a throwing error on Posada. Now that kind of changes the way you call the game if you're Posada. You've already committed an error. If you call for the splitter, which could be the right pitch, that could be the pitch that rolls to the backstop. Remember earlier, we said last year, Posada with a problem catching the ball.
Too far outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Clemens thought that was a strike.
Yeah, I think he let go a little yelp at the end of not getting that called for strike 3. Runner at third, 2 out. It's the tying run, and Gonzalez hits it hard, and what a play by Ventura. Robin Ventura, who starred on the south side, dashes the hopes of the fans on the north side with that play. Still 1-0. Back after this from your local Fox station.
With home field advantage in the World Series at stake, this time it counts. The 2003 All-Star Game on Fox.
Here for the people making news in West Michigan. One-on-one straight talk. Face-to-face, getting answers to the tough questions. Straight talk. Sunday, only on Fox 17, News at 10. At 10, it's news at 11, it's history.
Make your dreams a reality with Rickard & Associates Landscaping Contractors. For over 10 years, Rickard & Associates has been one of the leading landscape companies in West Michigan. We provide the professionalism and experience you desire for all of your landscaping needs. From lawn and landscape installation to patios and walls, we'll work with you each step of the way, no matter how unique your project is. Whether it's a new site construction, renovation of a project, or additional landscaping, will complete your project to your satisfaction. Call Rickard & Associates today and make your dreams a reality.
Here we go. You want 3, what do you want, baby? Knock down all the bottles and win a prize. Yes, you, sir. Come on over. Yeah. Here we go. Impress the little lady.
When the target's refreshment, a hard Mike's is good to find.
If you're into camping, don't miss the grand opening of the Lakeshore's largest RV showroom at All Seasons RV. Check out these Jayco 27-foot bunkhouse trailers loaded with options. And these Jayco pop-ups are starting at just $44.95. It's all happening now through Saturday at All Seasons RV in Muskegon.
Thinking about making some home improvements this spring? Come to Discount Home Improvement, and you'll see why we carry budget-wise building supplies for your home. Discount Home Improvement offers a wide variety of kitchen design services. Discount stocks 3 complete kitchen lines, so you can get started today. We can also special order at factory direct pricing, which means direct savings for you. Let our design experts help you make your ideas become a reality. For doors, windows, kitchens, and baths, look to Discount Home Improvement on the corner of Leonard and Plainfield.
You're watching Fox 17, West Michigan's Fox.
This game moves into the 7th inning. It's a 1-0 game, a total of 3 hits. And Giambi gets out of the way of ball 1 inside. It'll be Giambi, Posada, and Ventura. Robin Ventura has made a couple of very good plays to help Clemens keep the Cubs off the board in this game. 2 balls, no strikes from Kerry Wood. miles an hour inside for ball 3.
Robin Ventura with a run-saving play to end the 6th inning.
On 3-0, Giambi takes The 4-pitch walk. Number 1 in the American League now with 42 walks is Giambi, and that's the second handed out by Kerry Wood today.
Joe, normally in the 7th inning, when you look down at your scorecard and you see a team has only gotten 3 balls out of the infield all day, you don't expect to be ahead. But one of those balls, a home run by Hideki Matsui for the Yankees. 3 balls have been hit out of the infield today.
One by Soriano, the home run, and the fly out to shallow right by Juan Rivera. That's it. A strike hits the inside corner to Jorge Posada. We expected a good pitching matchup, and we are getting every bit of it. The combined efforts of the 2 Texans, Roger Clemens and Kerry Wood, here this afternoon. The opposite way, Moises Alou back to get it. 1 on, 1 out. So Giambi's aboard. Robin Ventura is coming up. And I want to wish a happy 7th birthday to my beautiful daughter Natalie.
All right.
Number 7 on the 7th.
Right.
Little Nat.
That's great.
We're in the top of the 7th. The runner at first, 1 out. A run on the board. That's it. It belongs to the Yankees. And Robin Ventura has struck out twice. As we just said, his contribution to this game has come with a glove on his left hand. 1 ball, no strikes. Even the play that he made at third, backing up to take the throw from Clemens, which was about 95 miles an hour, to get the tag down on Miller last half inning, was a big play.
Certainly not a routine play. He caught it in foul territory, had to come back to make the tag.
1 ball, 1 strike. You think your guy Bobby Mercer behind us is getting a little nervous?
Look at this. He's going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." He's
Wow.
the show in about 5 minutes or 3 minutes away this game's going.
We'll save the public and go to commercial. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out. And a ball down and in, 2-1. There's Bobby Mercer. There's the top of Tim's hair.
Well, I've heard Bobby sing the blues a lot. I've never heard him sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Nor do we particularly want to.
No.
Here's a 2-1 to Ventura. Off the hands. Good pitch by Kerry Wood. 2-2. To look at the big picture for a moment, the Yankees come in after having fallen out of first place this past week with 2 terrible games at Cincinnati to start this interleague action. Now they're a game and a half up on Boston in the AL East. Meanwhile, the Cubs, with last night's victory by Houston, come from behind over Tampa Bay. The Cubs are out of first place for the first time since the 15th of April, tied with St. Louis, both teams a game out behind Houston. And what a year for Joe Torre. Finding out from his general manager Brian Cashman that Derek Jeter had been named the 11th captain in team history for the Yankees while they were in Cincinnati, of all places. He didn't get the call from George Steinbrenner. He finds out from Brian Cashman, and from the reports when Jeter signed his contract a couple of years ago, Joe Torre was cool to the idea. People then take the action by Steinbrenner to be a little jab at Joe Torre's power and leadership of this Yankee team on the field by doing so and not consulting him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count now on Ventura.
Not only that, but when Derek Jeter signed the $19 million a year contract over 10 years, $190 million, the press conference was held over the weekend when press coverage is
on the telephone.
Because it was a conference call because George Steinbrenner was upset at Derek Jeter getting $19 million a year. Go figure. I mean, here's one of your stats, like General Motors making a good car and then saying it's not a real good car and trying to sell it, peddle it to the public. Give me a break.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, 1 out. Now what's Mercer doing back there?
Turning his back to us.
Here's a 3-2 pitch and a fly ball into left. Moises Alou Takes it in, 2 out.
You know, we talked about that sequence and the 3-2 curveball to Matsui. The difference in this game, the batter before him, Raul Mondesi, swung and missed at a 3-2 breaking ball. That was the second out of the inning. And now the sequence to Matsui. Missed with the fastball. Now with the count 1-2. That's the disputed pitch. Did he go too far? Cubs thought so. The Yankees said no. And on the 3-2 curveball, difference in the ball game. 1-0 New York. 5 breaking pitches in that series to Matsui when nobody can hit his fastball today. That's right. And the reason we showed that 3-2 breaking ball to Mondesi is a lot of young pitchers think that a good breaking ball to a right-handed batter would have a similar effect on a left-handed batter, and that is not true, and it's a very important point for young pitchers to know. Left-handers view them differently. They pick it up quicker. Mondesi rips one into left field, but Alou ties a record. He made all 3 putouts in the inning. There you go. Bobby, it's all you. Time to stretch. 1-0 Yankees at Wrigley. Do it, baby.
More than you're used to.
Fox Saturday Baseball brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. We all had a nice 7th inning stretch. Bobby Mercer, an ex-Yankee and Cub, sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and a big rip by Corey Patterson, who's hit 12 home runs this season. We'd like to play you more of it, including his singing, but Simon Cowell of American Idol won't allow us to do that. The 0-1 pitch. It's bloody dreadful.
Bobby
Paula
has a
Abdul
different.
loved it, though.
Bobby has a different accent.
1 ball, 1 strike. Patterson, then Sosa, then Alou. Big bats in this inning for the Cubs to deal with Roger Clemens. Ooh, nasty.
Remember in the scouting report at the beginning of the game, we said arguably Roger Clemens throws the hardest spitter ever. Well, that was an example of one right there. 89 miles an hour, split finger fastball that just dived out of the strike zone.
Another good rip. Well, you can see why they have high hopes for Corey Patterson. You heard about him a couple of years coming up through the minor leagues. Acevedo and Hammond in the bullpen. Man, if I'm Roger Clemens and I have a shot at 300 at Wrigley Field, I don't want to be sitting in the dugout watching Acevedo or Hammond try to help me get it.
Yeah, your point before the game that Rivera would be his choice.
Patterson strikes out. That's 5 strikeouts and 3,996 in the career of Roger Clemens.
Keep making pitches like that, you won't need anybody from the bullpen.
Bullpen let him down in Detroit. Will they get another opportunity here at Wrigley? Another battle between Clemens and Sosa. Sosa's 0 for 2. Hasn't homered in 36 days. Strike 1. However, 95 starts since his last complete game. And the Yankee bullpen about 80% in guiding it home. I'm sure Clemens doesn't want to play the odds. He's had this hanging over him since the season began, as he makes his 3rd attempt to win 300 in his career. 1 ball, 1 strike on Sosa. Rivera's another story, but the setup relief for the Yankees is not what it once was. Pretty good rip by Sosa. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Debbie Clemens, Roger's wife, watching. They have family, they have friends. I'm sure it's been an expensive couple of whiffs for Roger Clemens trying to win number 300 now that he has to bring the whole show to Wrigley Field and try to find seats for everybody. A 1-2.
It's so different for a team to wait for a pitcher to win 300 games as opposed to a team waiting for a hitter for instance, like Sammy Sosa to get 500 home runs because he plays every day. If a guy like Roger Clemens doesn't do it, you're going to have to wait 5 more days, more questions, all the luggage that comes with a remarkable feat.
A 1-2 to Sosa. Two balls, 2 strikes. Popped up. Out of play, still 2-2.
Move that pitch down about 4 inches and this game would be tied. He just missed that ball, but that's that rising action of the high Clemens fastball. Put that fastball down around the thighs instead of between the belt and the armpits, and this game could be tied. It sounds strange, but there is not much of a difference in a guy fouling a ball straight back and hitting the ball 400 feet.
It'll be interesting now to see how Clemens follows that pitch. If he goes back with the heat, or after that high fastball goes to the split-fingered pitch to try to finish off Sosa.
I think the splitter would be my choice if I were Clemens.
Hideki Matsui out in center field. His home run, the only run of the day. 1-0 New York, bottom of the 7th.
Fastball
on 2-2. .505 career home runs for Sosa.
Another fastball.
And a ground ball through the left side for a 1-out base hit. Tying run is on. Let's check in with Kevin Kennedy. Kevin.
Hey, there's one seat in the house, and it happens to be right behind Mrs. Clemens. This is Debbie. This is Corey, Roger's son. We got a bunch of family. Debbie, who's got more pressure on? Is it Roger or you? How are you handling this?
I'm trying to stay real calm and cool. Whenever it happens, it's going to happen. I just am really glad to enjoy a really good pitching duel right now. I think that Kerry and Roger both are pitching well. And let's just get the Yankees a win.
Now, if you don't think she knows how many strikeouts Roger has, what did you just tell me a moment ago, that last strikeout? Number what?
I said that was number 5.
How many more for 4,000?
I think he needs 4.
Yeah. You got it. How many family and friends are here, Debbie?
Well, our party has kind of shrunk. There weren't that many tickets available for this sold-out series. But I brought my 2 older sons, and Roger's sisters are here.
Okay.
And we have a few friends, but it's a lot smaller party.
All right, Corey, how are you doing? You hanging in there pretty good?
Yes, I am. Yeah. Go Yankees.
All right, we'll take it. Good luck, Debbie. Let's take it back upstairs.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Thanks to part of the Clemens family. And now with 1 on, 1 out, the batter is Moises Alou after a rather long visit from Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach. A base hit by Sosa, an 8-pitch at bat with Sosa, and now Alou takes a ball. Even with all the hype and all of the buildup, this is the 2nd largest crowd of the season. 39,363, which begs the question, Joe, when was the largest crowd here at Wrigley? We'll find that out. Runner at first, the tying run. 1 away. Bottom of the 7th. 2-0.
Man, he is making some pitches that are tough to call. Your point earlier about Dan Iassogna is nothing against Dan. I think Dan's going to be, is a good umpire, but he's inexperienced, and you'd wonder why Major League Baseball would have a format to where a young, inexperienced umpiring staff is doing this series.
2-0. 3-0. Iassogna is a AAA reserve umpire. That's what he's referred to as in the media guide as Mel Stottlemyre and Joe Torre, are discussing, I'm sure, how much longer they want to stay with Roger Clemens should Moises Alou reach.
Interesting situation. If Dusty Baker were hitting right now, he'd want to be hitting. We'll see if he gave Alou the hit sign.
On the corner.
I think he was hitting then, but that pitch right on the outside corner, and Alou properly took it. Watch the front side. That's not a taking mode. I think he was hitting, but it just caught the corner.
Alou surprised to hear strike one called. It's 3-1. Alou's hit 5 home runs this season. That is ball 4 as they appeal down to first. No swing, and it's 2 on with 1 out. And that's going to be it for Roger Clemens. A strikeout, a hit, a walk. And now the Yankees, as this crowd will let Joe Torre and the Yankees hear it. They're going to go to their bullpen here in the 7th inning and let Clemens sit and watch the rest of this. A nice ovation from this crowd now at Wrigley. Boy, unless Roger Clemens said something like, "Take me out if I don't get him," I would have a tough time justifying taking Clemens out of this game.
Yeah.
He's gone. Acevedo takes over.
You gelling? No telling how much I'm gelling. You gelling? You know I'm gelling.
Hey, Ellen, you gelling?
I'm gelling like a felon. You want some melon?
Nah, but hey, I'm like mud gelling. I'm so gelling.
Nice.
Are you gelling yet? Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are made from the softest gel ever created. If you and your shoes don't feel outrageously comfortable, you get your money back. Guaranteed.
I'm gelling. You're not gelling. You're so not gelling.
Are you gelling yet? Dr. Scholl. Look, feel, do better.
You ready, my man?
I was born ready.
Hey, Rick, sure is getting close to lunchtime, huh?
It sure is, Jim.
Any ideas?
Well, Subway's got something delicious, like the new Chipotle Southwest Steak and Cheese. Sliced steak topped with melted cheese and a new Chipotle sauce for an added spicy kick. Served hot on fresh baked gourmet bread. You know, I can go for one right now.
Yeah. Whoa. Excellent work, my friend.
Yeah.
Subway, eat fresh.
Some people believe there's a carpentry gene, and I think I got it. Hanging things, I'm a little hit or miss on. But with the Black & Decker Bullseye, it's foolproof. I just find a stud, hang it on the wall, and it self-levels. Gives you a straight line every time.
The Bullseye from Black & Decker. Now may be the best time ever to buy a Carrier heating and cooling system. Introducing Cool Cash, where you can get a rebate of up to $600 on qualifying new Carrier systems. Call 1-800-CARRIER for a participating dealer.
Okay, let's say this is your car and you get into an accident. Oh boy. If you take it to an Allstate recommended repair shop, they'll fix it, so you're pretty happy. You're like, woo, I'm pretty happy. Even better, Allstate guarantees the workmanship for as long as you own the car, which means if even the smallest thing goes wrong, you don't have to pay for it. So you're still happy. You're like, woo, I'm still happy. So there you go, the Allstate Lifetime Repair Guarantee.
Call now and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate.
First pitch with 2 on and 1 out to Eric Karros, playing in place of the injured Hee-Seop Choi. Acevedo deals, and Karros hits it deep to left. This ball is gone. 3-1 Chicago, and Clemens will not get number 300 today. Lenny Harris, 1 ball, 1 strike.
The starter for the Yankees leaving the game, while the non-starter for the Cubs put him on top.
That is a rocket hit to first, caught by Giambi. When Roger Clemens was taken out of the game, he let the home plate umpire Dan Iassogna, when Clemens was in the dugout, have an earful. Only 84 pitches on the afternoon. Still throwing 93, 94 miles an hour. And again, as we said going to break, unless Roger Clemens said, "I'm finished, get me out of here if I don't get Alou," I don't know how you can take him out of a game like this.
Well, you don't know whether he said that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the disclaimer.
Yeah, but especially with 84 pitches. Because if he's going to lose the game, you would think that Joe Torre would say, listen, if he's going to lose the game, he's going to be the guy to do it, not the bullpen.
It was not Rivera coming in. It was Acevedo.
Right.
We're in the 7th inning, and this crowd is alive and well. A 3-1 Cub lead after 7 at Wrigley.
Come on in, Derek. I thought we discussed this thing and had it all worked out. You're our starting shortstop. How can you possibly afford to spend 2 nights dancing, 2 nights eating out, and 3 nights just carousing with your friends? Oh.
If you want to enjoy the New York nightlife, bring your Visa card, because Orso, Cheetah, and the Broome Street Bar don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Rebel TI. Get into it.
Ants, fleas, and ticks on your lawn can be a real pain, right, Murphy? But even worse are the bugs that destroy your lawn from below. You see these dead brown patches? Cutworms and grubs eating the roots. The solution? Ortho Bug Be Gone. Bug Be Gone's exclusive formula kills the ants, fleas, and ticks above, and those lawn killers below. Ortho Bug Be Gone, for a beautiful bug-free lawn, guaranteed. Ortho, always the right solution.
I love a good thing. Who says too much of a good thing is a bad thing? Sometimes too much of a good thing can be a great thing.
Now you can call anyone in America for 3 cents a minute and 39 cents to connect. And that 3 cents gets you Canada and Western Europe, too. Just dial 1010-987.
There's no monthly fees, so you only pay for the calls you make. Hey, you know a good thing when you see it. 1010-987. A rate this low never went so far.
What will happen when we check 11 sexy singles into the most beautiful hotel in the world? We can't wait to find out either. Paradise Hotel. You watch, you win, you could be in. Premieres Wednesday, June 18th on Fox. Parental discretion advised.
Eric Karros took over first base after a 4th inning injury to Hee-Seop Choi. Took the first pitch, a riding fastball coming in toward him. It was up, and Karros sent it up and out. And just like that, the Cubs went on top 3-1. Clemens, no chance in Chicago to win number 300. That will drag on because of this. And what a moment for Eric Karros, the longtime Dodger, to step to the plate and rip that ball out of the park.
Wasting no time against Juan Acevedo. Reinforce that point. I was surprised Clemens came out of the game after only 84 pitches. I think that's the key.
Well, now Matsui's on to start the inning here in the 8th for New York. Kevin Kennedy managed Roger Clemens with Boston. Kevin, your thoughts?
Joe, there's no way Roger asked out of that game. 84 pitches is nothing for him. As we were talking yesterday, he said, Skip, I remember so many times you'd come out to the mound, I'd have 125, and you'd say, hey, you're our best guy. He'd stay in there. As we've talked about all week, his legs are so strong, his mechanics are so good. There's no way he asks out of this ball game. He never did in 2 years with me. If anything, he's forced himself to go back out for an extra inning when I wanted to take him out.
Runner at first with nobody out. Juan Rivera. It's called strike one. Ruben Sierra, the newest addition to this Yankee team, and you can be guaranteed that before the trading deadline rolls in this season, there will be additions to the setup relief corps for the New York Yankees. In fact, Joe Torre telling us before the game he still believes Jose Contreras will be a major part of the bullpen for the Yankees before the end of the season.
And think about it, Jose Contreras has won his last 2 ball games as a starter.
Runner at first, nobody out. Tying run at the plate. Rivera swings at a terrible pitch that bounced in there. A ball and 2 strikes.
That was a tightly wrapped 56-foot breaking ball thrown by Wood.
It happened last Sunday in Detroit, and it happened in a blink here in Chicago. And now it's Kerry Wood still on the mound, trying to get through the 8th. He is due to lead off in the bottom of this inning. That's called strike 3 over the outside corner. 1 out. 11 strikeouts today for Kerry Wood. Our Pepsi fan cam here in the 8th. A packed house at Wrigley. A lot of the kids in attendance here today, and to answer the question, the largest crowd at Wrigley Field this season, Memorial Day against Pittsburgh. They got over 40,000, just under it here today, but standing room only. And now with Rothschild, pat on the backside, back to the dugout. It's 1 on, 1 out, and Ruben Sierra, recently picked up from the Texas Rangers, will step to the plate.
I remember back in the 1993 All-Star game, Tom Kelly, who was 1992 All-Star game in San Diego. Tom Kelly told me about Ruben Sierra. The one thing you can't do is speed up his bat head by throwing 85-mile-an-hour sliders. Well, if that was true in 92, it's particularly true right now. So I'm sure Larry Rothschild went out and said, if you float a breaking ball into this guy, he can hurt you. If he's going to hurt you, make him hurt you with the fastball.
Well, Sierra just took one for strike 1, and it's 1 on, 1 out. Another breaking ball, and it's a ball and a strike.
Sometimes you show him early in the count something other than what you're going to get him out with late in the count.
Tying run at the plate, Ruben Sierra. That big swing, which is a reason why you don't want to speed up his bat with something other than at least what Wood possesses, a blow you away fastball that counts 1 and 2.
Some hitters, because of that big swing, take a long time to get to the strike zone. Ruben Sierra is one of those types of hitters.
279 career home runs. Back with the Yankees, takes ball 2. 2 and 2. 3 home runs this season with Texas. He's hitting .263, 9 doubles. Batting for Acevedo, who went 2/3 of an inning. 1 run on 1 big hit. That's a base hit through the right side. Matsui will hold at second. It's 2 on with 1 out. So Sierra comes through for Joe Torre off the bench. And it's our GMC game summary, brought to you by GMC Professional Grade. In the top of the 8th inning, now the Yankees have a golden opportunity with 2 on and 1 out. The top of the order coming up. The numbers for Clemens, who right now is on the hook for the loss if the Yankees don't rally. Now we're going to have a pinch runner. The numbers for Wood, who's trying to get through 8. Matchup of 2 Texans, one 25 years old, one 40 years old. And the 25-year-old is still in the game. Gipson will take over at first base. as a pinch runner. It's 2 on with 1 out. And a strike on the inside corner to Soriano.
Joe, if I'm the Cubs, this is the one guy I do not want to see up here. He is one of the most dangerous, explosive hitters in baseball. The ball just fires off his bat.
Tied for first in the American League with his 18 home runs. Tied with Delgado. 0-2. The rankings in the American League this year for Soriano. #1 in hits in the major leagues. Tied for, or rather first in steals, tied for first in the home run department. Total bases, 9th in RBIs. Tying runs are on.
Key here is not throwing a strike.
1-2, 97 miles per hour from Wood.
Soriano, perhaps as much as anybody in the game, you can toy with him once you go 0-2. Stay out of the strike zone, and your chances are going to be better.
Clemens threw 84 pitches. Wood well up over 100. 2 on, 1 out. And Soriano flies one to center. Coming in is Alou. 2 out. Patterson, the center fielder, broke back after seeing that big swing. And Patterson thrilled to see Alou coming in to sweep in for the catch.
Center and right field here at Wrigley Field. Very difficult sun fields. It's #1 now that Candlestick Park has been relegated to a football stadium. Candlestick used to be the toughest from right and center, but now it's Wrigley Field.
Now it's Derek Jeter, the second youngest Yankee captain ever, second only to Thurman Munson. He was named back in 1976. Tying runs are on, 2 out, strike 1.
I'm a little bit surprised that Lenny Harris is still in the ball game for defense, and I'm also surprised to see him on the line. Derek Jeter does not. If there's anybody in baseball, you got to give him the line. Derek Jeter hits the ball to right, center, and right field. I think Lenny's too close to the line at third.
Too far inside, a ball and a strike. Giambi is on deck. And Mike Remlinger is getting loose, the left-hander for the Cubs in their bullpen. Jeter with 2 on, 2 out. Strike 2. And with Kerry Wood due up first in the bottom of this 8th, this could be his final batter. And this crowd wants to see his 12th strikeout. Two and 2. And by the way, a terrific block by Damian Miller to keep the tying run out of scoring position.
Yeah, the runner on second getting to third, not nearly as important as the runner on first getting to second.
Full count and the runners will go. This, you would have to believe, is Kerry Wood's last batter of the day, no matter what. Bases loaded, and now the decision. Dusty Baker just pointed down to the bullpen, but is still in the dugout for the moment. Kerry Wood is coming out.
Probably a double switch with Ramon Martinez going to third and batting ninth. And Remlinger in the game.
A 1-2 count on Jeter, and Wood lets him get away, and now Kerry Wood will have to go sit and watch his setup relief try to end the inning and keep the lead. Bases loaded, 2 out. Remlinger coming in, Martinez taking over at third, and the big left-handed slugger Jason Giambi coming up for the New York Yankees.
What are you doing stinking up my stuff? These things are magic, Mikey. Anybody can hit in these. Anybody, huh?
The new MLB Authentic Collection Performance Batting Practice jerseys and caps are here. Now anyone can get them.
Crackheads attack cops.
Freeze, or I'll put a hole in you.
And citizens fight back.
You guys have them tied up? Yeah. Outstanding.
Cops. Then witness a harrowing siege
I did think I was going to die.
that led to incredible acts of courage. America's Most Wanted. It all starts at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox. Fox Sunday. Beach parking, $20. Forget you. Start your summer with a bang.
I always wondered how those work.
And yet I've learned nothing. We're celebrating fun in the sun with summer episodes of Futurama, King of the Hill, The Simpsons, Another King, Malcolm in the Middle, and Oliver Bean. So don't be a chicken.
He'll stop. I know he'll stop. I bet just wait just ahead. Maybe this was just...
Check out Fox Sunday's Summer Celebration starting at 7/6 Central. Tired of all those shows with so-called real people that look anything but real? Well, don't hate them. Join them. This summer, we're sending 11 sexy singles to live in luxury at the exclusive Paradise Hotel. Now, for the first time ever, you can go from viewer to star just by watching, because every week someone new will join the cast, and that someone could be you. Paradise Hotel, premiering Wednesday, June 18th on Fox. Parental discretion advised.
Kerry Wood gets into the 8th inning. Responsible for the 3 runners on the bases. Goes 7 2/3. Allows 1 run on 3 hits. The only run allowed so far. The home run by Matsui back in the 5th. Which until the bottom of the 7th was good enough for a Yankee lead. Now it's the slugger for the Yankees, Jason Giambi, dealing with Mike Remlinger. Sacks jam, 2 out. Strike 1. Remlinger is the type pitcher that the Yankees, after they let Stanton leave the ball club, really don't have, and that is a matchup lefty. Remlinger is that type for this situation with Giambi.
He's also very adept at getting right-handers and left-handers out. Just showing him that pitch under the armpits, getting back away from the plate. I would think he'd go back outside with the fastball here. Back in.
2-2. Standing down at second. Go ahead run on at first for the Yankees, who have Giambi at the plate. He homered yesterday. He has 14 on the year. to 3-2.
He's got to throw him a fastball here. Predictable pitch. Giambi with good power the other way. He had a home run in yesterday's game.
Who cares what's in a hot dog? When diverse, cast-aside elements come together to form something great, well, that's the American way. No, sir. Far better to ask yourself, what are you made of? What spice do you add to the national knockwurst? What flavor do you contribute to the high life?
Let's say this is you, and this is your auto insurance company. You've always gotten along okay, but let's say this is Allstate. Ooh, looks better than what you got now, huh? Well, qualified drivers who call Allstate for a free auto quote can get a company this good for this kind of price, maybe less. The choice is pretty simple, don't you think? So call Allstate now for an auto quote and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate.
Hey, Gina, so where do you suppose he was going? I think he's sitting at home and he says to himself, today's the day. Today I go for a little ride.
See, this just makes my day.
And that just made my day.
Introducing Picture Mail That Talks from Sprint. And now share all the pictures you want and get a PCS Vision picture phone for $99.99 after $100 savings. Share it when it happens.
This summer, smart kid like you gotta have a plan. Journey to a whole new world.
You brought him home?
He's not a criminal mastermind. He's a kid who has nowhere to go.
What do you think of Newport?
I think I can get in less trouble where I'm from.
You have no idea.
The OC, coming soon to Fox.
Fox Saturday Baseball brought to you by Sprint, introducing PCS Vision, clearly a whole new way to look at wireless. By Old Spice, spice things up. By Allstate, you're in good hands with Allstate. And by Miller High Life, to live simply, proudly, boldly, manly, this is the High Life. Ramon Martinez, who took over in the double switch, will lead it off for the Cubs against Jeff Weaver, the third pitcher of the day, and now working out of the bullpen for the Yankees, losing his starter spot after his last effort last weekend in Detroit. Martinez homered here yesterday. Very good, useful utility player is Ramon Martinez, who Dusty Baker had with the Giants. Changed up, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. What a day at Wrigley. 2-2.
Joe, I saw that scorecard, and I remember Pat Piper, who was here for about 70 years. He was the public address announcer. Gave the lineups every day. He was also the ball man. Used to bring the balls up to the umpires, so he had a dual purpose. People familiar with Wrigley Field over the years can remember Pat Piper saying, ladies and gentlemen, get your pencils and scorecards ready.
Weaver. That one got away and almost got Martinez, and it's a full count. They see a load of ability in Jeff Weaver, but turning it into victories and consistent pitching has been tough.
Or your point earlier, what Joe Torre told us, that Contreras will be in the bullpen and a big asset to them once Weaver is straightened out.
And really, that's been one of the issues between George Steinbrenner and Joe Torre, Jose Contreras, and how it was handled when they sent him out. Joe Torre telling him initially that he was just going back to AAA. Then word came from Tampa he was going down to Florida. Joe Torre was embarrassed. Felt like he had lied to the player as Jeter in the hole. That ball hits off Ventura's glove. Jeter goes to get it. And Martinez is on with what likely is a hit. And it is. Moments ago, Jason Giambi dealing with Mike Remlinger with the bases loaded. A 3-2 pitch in this. Runner at first, nobody out here, and Grudzielanek at the plate. Yankees expect the bunt just to finish on Contreras and Joe Torre. The perception is that George Steinbrenner said, we're paying this guy $8 million a year for 4 years. He's got electric stuff. I want to see him in the rotation. Well, he eventually got into the rotation last Friday and was outstanding in a win over the Tigers. He won his last time out in Cincinnati as the bunt is good by Grudzielanek. The sacrifice is good. 1-4. Down to second is Martinez. We give you our Pepsi All-Star ballot update. National League first. And right now it looks like this. Bonds, Guerrero, who just was put on the disabled list with a herniated disc in his back, and Sosa, Roland, Renneria, Kent, Bagwell on the infield, and Ivan Rodriguez behind the plate. Right now leading in their categories with the votes. Ball one up and away to Alex Gonzalez.
Ivan Rodriguez has the luxury of catching one of the finest young arms I have seen in the major leagues in a long, long time. That's Dontrell Willis, the left-hander who's 4-1 for the Marlins. Boy, do I love to watch him pitch.
And you alerted me to the fact that he used to be in the Cubs organization.
Yeah, came over in the Alfonso deal.
Who, by the way, is no longer the closer here with the Cubs. It's Joe Borowski who's getting loose, and he will take over. That's ball 3-0 with Corey Patterson on deck. Gonzalez, a sacrifice bunt, 2 groundouts.
Getting back to the Contreras, you saying that, look, we're paying him $8 million. We want to see him as a starter. You know, for George Steinbrenner and the partners of the Yankees to think by just having the highest payroll in baseball.
That's fair down the right field line, and it will add to the Chicago lead. In to score is Grudzielanek on an RBI double by Alex Gonzalez.
The Cubs tack on here in the 8th inning to take a 3-run lead. RBI double off Jeff Weaver after the infield hit by Martinez. But to wrap up that point, just because you have the highest payroll in baseball doesn't mean it's a laydown. That guys are going to just give you the pennant. You don't win the pennant at a bank or on Wall Street on a financial sheet. You win it between the lines, and the Yankees are not playing well right now.
And between the lines, Joe Torre is going to make another pitching change. Weaver is going to exit. It's a 3-run Cub lead.
And this is why home field advantage in the World Series means everything.
Now, for the first time ever, the league that wins the All-Star game will earn home field advantage in the World Series. The stakes are raised. The intensity is back. The 2003 All-Star game only on Fox. This time, it counts.
Fox Tuesday, the creators of American Idol continue their nationwide talent search for tomorrow's superstar. Now, as the 20 finalists are chosen, the contest is heating up.
'Cause I'm over you.
And the parents are melting down. American Juniors, hosted by Ryan Seacrest at 8 Fox Tuesday. This is Eddie.
Trust me.
This is England.
What are you doing this weekend?
Hopefully you.
England, meet Eddie.
Wanker.
Brett.
I hate you.
I hate you too.
Wimp. New York's finest is on the case in London, and now his new roommate is on his.
This has been on all week. I feel like I know these apes.
Hasn't been that long since you broke away.
Scotland Yard is about to get yanked.
I'm Eddie. How you like me so far?
Keen Eddie, all new at 9, 8 Central, Fox Tuesday. Fox tonight, crackheads attack cops.
Freeze, or I'll put a hole in you.
And citizens fight back.
You guys have them tied up? Yeah. Outstanding.
Cops. Then revisit a terrifying day in law enforcement history as a crazed gunman pins down police.
Call for backup!
And only a bold and dangerous plan could save them.
I did think I was going to die.
See the incredible acts of courage that ended a harrowing siege. And all new America's Most Wanted. It all starts at 8 tonight on Fox. Fox Monday. For the first time on television, find out your IQ live. Discover if your intelligence is above average, gifted, or a genius. How does your IQ compare to this group of teachers, these construction workers, or this bevy of blondes? Do you have the guts to find out? Test the nation. What's your IQ? Monday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Chris Hammond takes over, and Corey Patterson swings over the top of the pitch, strike one. Said earlier that the Yankees really don't have that matchup left-hander when Remlinger came in, because sometimes Hammond, because of his changeup, is tougher against right-handed batters.
That's right.
One ball, one strike. Juan Acevedo hanging his head in the dugout. He has not moved since being replaced in this game. Strike two on a huge swing by Patterson. 1-2 with Sosa on deck.
Well, that was a head hanger that he gave up to Eric Karros, a high fastball, the first pitch of the ball game. Karros put the Cubs on top 3-1.
It's now 4-1. A hit by Martinez, a sacrifice bunt. I had said Grudzielanek scored. It was Martinez who crossed the plate. The RBI double by Alex Gonzalez. And now a 1-2 pitch to Patterson. It's popped up. A changeup that worked against a lefty. Posada has it for the second out. Now Sosa will be the hitter. So you know, the Yankees bullpen has allowed 44% of inherited runners to score, which is the third highest number in the major leagues. Kansas City and Boston higher. The major league average is just over 34%, and the Yankees at 44%. So that's a spot, even with a $180 million payroll, that needs to be improved. With 2 outs, Sosa takes the ball up and away.
It's so alarming that what Yankee fans are comparing it to is the bullpen, as you mentioned earlier, the bullpen the Yankees have had in the past years. Jeff Nelson, who's now with Seattle. Mike Stanton now with the Mets, even though Stanton is ailing.
That's toward the middle. Jeter can't keep it on the infield. In to score is Gonzalez. Another run and an RBI for Sosa. And it's 5-1 Chicago in the 8th. Two hits and now an RBI today for Sosa.
That's a ball in past years that Derek Jeter would have dived for. But remember, he separated his shoulder early in the season, and that does not allow him to get the extension that Jeter is used to getting. That's a ball that he at least dives for and keeps on the infield to prevent the run from scoring. But not so coming back from that separated shoulder.
Alou with a swing and a miss. So Hammond adds to that percentage as he allows an inherited runner to score, and that's a 2-run frame. A third of an inning for Weaver. 1 ball, 1 strike. Posada, Ventura, and Mondesi will bat for New York in the 9th inning. Should end the inning. Jeter with a flip, and that'll do it. It sends this game, a beautiful Saturday in Chicago, to the 9th. A matchup of Roger Clemens and Kerry Wood at the start. Battle of the bullpens late. And the Cubs are on top 5-1. Back at Wrigley, 9th inning, Joe Borowski, who was pitching in Mexico a couple of years ago, has elevated himself into the closer spot, taking over for Alfonso. He was the guy Dusty Baker went to, and Alfonso was injured at the beginning of the year. Look at these numbers. Why wouldn't you stay with him? With 10 saves and a 1.67 ERA.
Prior to this year, he had 2 major league saves.
And for a strike, it's 0-2 on Posada. Borowski was going to give it up, go into line of work that members of his family, including his father, had gone into, and that was fighting fires. He's going to be a firefighter. Came back, pitched in Mexico, worked his way back, was in the minor leagues with the Cubs, had a great year last year, and he's stayed with it here in 2003.
Either way, he's putting out fires.
This one and this type just on the field trying to get the final 3 outs of a game, and he's done well for Dusty Baker. On 0-2 with Ventura next in a 5-1 game. That's ball 1. MLB.com has the widest selection of items for the team you love. Shop MLB.com, the official site of wearing your heart on your sleeve, cap, pullover, and lots more. MLB.com. A 1-2 pitch. Posada waited on it, flips it out of play. Kerry Wood threw 120 pitches on the afternoon. That was good for 7 2/3 innings. He allowed 1 run, 3 hits, walked 3. Left for the bases loaded, and Remlinger came on to strike out Giambi, leading by 2 on a 3-2 pitch. Another foul by Posada. The duel at Wrigley, and by the way, for Clemens, the word is his next scheduled start, as he again will be trying to win his 300th game. It'll be his 4th attempt at it. He'll also be trying to get to the 4,000 strikeout plateau. He came in needing 9, and he struck out 5. Posada hits that one to deep left center field. That ball's got a chance. It's gone. Home run Posada. And it's 5-2 Chicago in the 9th. As they do here at Wrigley, that souvenir is thrown back onto the field. And to finish the thought on Clemens, he is scheduled to pitch Friday. Right now, going into the game, Friday at Yankee Stadium against St. Louis. You and I will be there next Saturday for the Cardinals and the Yankees. A little 1964 flavor for you. Staying with a backhand is the shortstop Gonzalez. 1 out. So next Saturday, Fox Saturday Baseball continues with exciting interleague play. Albert Pujols is hitting .390. He and the Cardinals take on the Yankees, and the Braves battle the Mariners. The Dodgers meet Cleveland. It all begins with This Week in Baseball at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, followed by NFL Europe's World Bowl, and then Fox Saturday Baseball at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. So we'll start later because of the World Bowl, 3 Eastern next week. And we'll be at Yankee Stadium for the Cardinals and the Yankees.
One added thing about Roger Clemens, keep in mind, and Joe, you said that earlier in the game, Roger has not won at Yankee Stadium this year. 6-0 on the road, 0-3 at Yankee Stadium.
An 84 pitch day left in the 7th, and watched his 1-run lead leave seconds later on a home run hit by Karros against Juan Acevedo, as Mondesi, who is without a contract next season, gets a base hit. It's 1 on with 1 out, and Matsui is coming up.
Damian Miller, the catcher, out to talk to Joe Borowski. Dusty Baker does not have anybody warming up right now, but I would think somebody should get up Because Joe Borowski, I mean, after all, he is not the closer caliber of Mariano Rivera. Nor, in my opinion, has he pitched himself into that early in the first 2 months of the season.
Now with 1 on 1 out, we're handed an interesting note. Matsui takes the ball high. The word is that Roger Clemens will not be addressing the media following this game because of an upper respiratory infection, which I'm sure will be cited as one of, if not the main reason why he was pulled out of this game in the 7th inning, which is something we talked about at the time. If he said, "This is all I've got, I'm ready to come out," then you make the move.
Or was wheezing or something of that nature.
If not, who knows if it happened or not. If not, that move will be second guessed until he next pitches, most likely on Friday in the Bronx. Now the count's gone to 3-0 on Matsui, and if the Yankees can get one more base runner, they'll have a chance with a tying run at the plate, and it's hard to believe no one's getting loose.
It is hard to believe nobody is up in the Cubs bullpen.
3-1 on Hideki Matsui, who has homered and singled the Yankees, and the Yankee fans hope he figures it out at the plate. Came in hitting .259. To the right side and through for a base hit, and now the Yankees will bring the tying run to the plate. Alfonso will start to get loose for Chicago. He was warming last inning, so it shouldn't take him long to get ready, as Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, will come out and visit with Borowski, as there is still drama left in this game. Juan Rivera will be the hitter, and Todd Zeile has come into the on-deck circle with a pitcher's spot due up after Rivera. So a home run, a ground out, back-to-back singles. The tying run will be at the plate in the person of Juan Rivera, who has not homered this season. 0 for 2 today and hitting below 200. He came in at 208. Getting his playing time because of the knee injury suffered by Bernie Williams. They move Matsui into center, and they put Rivera in left. First and third, 1 out. No swing. Ball 1.
I thought Rivera held up. Watch how he drags the bat head through. The hands came through, but the bat head stayed back. That's close. Closer than I thought, really.
1 ball, no strikes. First and third, 1 out. 1-1. Alfonso started the season as the closer for Dusty Baker. As you look at what the Yankees have done this season when trailing after 6 innings compared to what they had accomplished 2001 and 2002. Rivera in the hole, 1 and 2. Alfonso started the season on the disabled list. A right hamstring pull. He's back healthy and warming up for the Cubs in their bullpen, as Borowski faces Rivera with 1 out. 2 and 2. Todd Zeile, a one-time Cub, waits to hit next. Rivera, they're not even going to appeal. Now they will. No swing, says the first base umpire in his 4th year, Jim Reynolds.
Now you've got to throw a strike right here. You've got to challenge a guy struggling like Rivera instead of leaving it up to a more experienced good clutch hitter like Todd Zeile, who's on deck. I don't send the runner right here. Line drive ends the game.
Not going, struck him out, 2 out. Now the tying run will be represented at the plate by Todd Zeile.
Karros is going in front of first base, trying to find out by Dusty Baker what he wants him to do. In my view, you just play behind Matsui. You have a 3-run lead with 2 runners on. Zeile is a guy who can rifle the ball down the right field side. So it looks to me like you ought to guard the line instead of holding Matsui on. Baker chooses not to do that.
First and third, 2 out. Zeile, who rarely swings at the first pitch, comes up empty.
Almost never.
Todd Zeile came up in the Cardinal organization, traded to the Cubs in '95, the same day St. Louis fired Joe Torre as their manager. Way late, strike 2. Prior to yesterday, the last time these two teams met in the World Series in 1938. The Chicago Cubs, if they can hang on and win, will beat the New York Yankees for the first time. Swept in 32, swept in 38. Cubs lost here yesterday to the Yankees 5-3. Lead 5-2 today. Two and 2. No further word on Hee-Seop Choi, who left with the head injury. He was conscious. Taken to Illinois Masonic Hospital. And it was Karros who took over for him, who hit the go-ahead home run in the 7th. 2-2 to Zeile. Into right field. That ball, if it's fair, will drop for a hit. It is foul.
When that ball was first hit, I thought that ball was fair from our angle. But it just drifted foul. About 2 feet or so. Hit off the end of the bat. Todd Zeile will have to get a new piece of lumber, I think. Yeah. Just foul. The 2 umpires down the right field line today.
Harris called it before Jim Reynolds. First and third, 2 out, tying run at the plate for New York. And a 2-2 count on Todd Zeile. Back to Borowski. The Cubs have defeated the Yankees. Karros with the biggest swing of the bat today, and it was Kerry Wood winning his 5th as Roger Clemens lost his 4th and missed his chance for the 3rd time to win the 300th game of his Hall of Fame career. No doubt the great feat of the game brought to you by Dr. Scholl's. The swing of the bat by Eric Karros on the first pitch from Juan Acevedo. Come to a ballpark, you have an anticipated matchup, you never know what you're going to see, and I think we saw about what we expected from Kerry Wood and Roger Clemens.
Yeah, I think so too, Joe, and a very important thing, not only did Roger Clemens lose the game, but he didn't win the game today, so the Yankees have to go through this another 5 days.
Let's go down to the field and check in with Kevin Kennedy.
A tough day today, obviously. Any update on, first of all, Hee-Seop Choi?
Well, from what I heard, they said that he was alert, he was talking. They just had to run some tests for precautionary reasons. But you know, our thoughts are with Hee-Seop. I mean, if you saw that injury, that's something that obviously it looked horrific on the field, and you know, hopefully he's going to rebound and be okay.
That's great news, Eric. And the irony of it all is you come up and really get the game-winning home run. Did you think you were going to face Roger Clemens in that situation?
You know, I wasn't sure. I know they'd gone out a couple of hitters earlier and talked to him. It looked like he was laboring a bit with Moises. You know, I'm sure Joe Torre had a good reason. I don't know what the reason was. You know, but I was prepared to hit off of Clemens or whoever they brought in.
How was Clemens' stuff today as far as what you saw up there?
Well, I mean, my first at-bat, well, my only at-bat off him, he threw me a couple fastballs to start off with and then the forkball. And forkball, when he's throwing that thing and throwing it over, I mean, that's an unhittable pitch. And, you know, I'm saying they should outlaw that darn thing because it's not fun, but he had good stuff today.
How did you guys feel with the matchup of Kerry Wood, a young Texan, going for his 50th win versus Roger Clemens coming into this series?
Well, I mean, it had all the hype. You know, Kerry's got great stuff. He's got electric stuff, and you know, he had thrown a 1 or 2 hitter up until he was taken out, and you know, he's a guy that can dominate any day, and we knew we were going up against a guy that could dominate as well, and there weren't going to be a lot of hits, and you know, whatever team made the fewest mistakes was going to come out on top.
Thanks so much, Eric. Congratulations. All right, Joe, let's go upstairs.
Thanks to Eric Karros. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us today. For Tim McCarver, I'm Joe Buck, the coordinating producer of Baseball on Fox, and the producer of today's game, Michael Weissman. Our director, John Moore, the associate director, Larry Lancaster, and the broadcast associate, Eric Billigmeyer. Some of many who brought you this game from Wrigley Field. A beautiful afternoon in Chicago. On the north side, the Cubs have now defeated the New York Yankees. That swing by Karros, a big part of it. Wood over his boyhood hero, Roger Clemens, today. What more do you want? Let's go out to L.A. and Jeannie Zelasco.
What more do we want? We're looking for cash, guys. Thank you. Today, of course, home runs making a difference. Fox Sports, in partnership with CapCure, will make sure that every home run hit in today's games will help fight prostate cancer. 3 at Wrigley, a total of 7. That's $135,000 and counting. Hi, everyone, and welcome inside the Fox Network Center. I'm Jeannie Zelasco, and we wanted to share with you the keys to this one. The big move of the game, of course, would be Roger Clemens getting pulled after 6 1/3 and his replacement, Juan Acevedo. First pitch to Eric Karros. Pretty deep. It's a 3-run home run, and this one not meant to be. Roger Clemens obviously a little frustrated. 84 pitches and thinking that he should still be pitching in the game and looking for a chance to get that 300th win. It is elusive at this point as he has dropped 4, and the Cubbies get the victory. And we're